My name is Sherman Richardson, and I am a widow. This is my husband, Sherman, and I'd like to share my story. I met him at a party. I took it upon myself to sashay over there, and he takes my hand and he kissed the back of my hand, and I wanted to melt right there. We got engaged in February of 1993, and we were married in July 30th, 1994. We just had such a wonderful, wonderful life. On December 5th, 2014, Sherman was killed in a horrific hit and run on the Southern State Parkway in Long Island. So I had one child, a son. His name was Larry Maurice, but I called him Man. He was a boy's boy, always very friendly. He was a big, tall guy, a gentle giant, I like to call him. He loved his sports, loved to play football. He loved to shower me with kisses. He just loved to be around me, and I loved to be around him.
This is my dad, and I'm glad he's gonna marry my beautiful mother. Congratulations, partner.
When Sherman came into the picture, he was just the best father that I can ask for my son. And it was a perfect example by how he treated me. And then the tragedy of 9/11 came, and being the person he was, he wanted to do his part to go down and volunteer to help with the rescue effort, to dig for bodies and so on and so forth. The buildings were not stable and stuff was falling off. And he told me that he had gotten hit in his calf. We got him to the doctor's office, and right away the doctor said, "There's nothing I can do for him." He looked like death. I had never seen my son look like that. And then the specialist arrives, and he comes out to talk to me, and he's with the chaplain. And then they said, "I'm sorry, we've done all we can. He didn't make it." And my world just ended right there. "Larry, it's Mom. Wake up. Wake up. You gotta wake up." I could not fathom that he would die before me. You know, you're not supposed to see your children die like that. The cause of his death was blood clots in his legs, and the blood clots can break loose, which resulted in his sudden death. So and when he died, Sherman was all I had. He would do things to let me know that it was going to be okay, to help me remember my son. I picked the right man to be his father. That morning was such a beautiful morning. I awoke earlier than I normally would, and I prayed to God saying, "Lord, I just want to thank you for my wonderful life and my wonderful husband." So he kissed me goodbye, and breaking news came across the screen, and there had been this horrific crash. And every time you hear about that, I would think somebody's going to get some very bad news. It was just a hectic day at work in the office that day. I got a call. All I remember is him saying, "This is investigator from state police." And then I became very anxious, and I became very nervous. And I prayed at my desk, "God, please don't let something happen to Sherman. Please, please. You know how I feel about him. Please." So then I decided to go back on that and Google the Southern State Parkway crashes again. And then I could see the license plate was still intact. That was Sherman's license plate. I just sat there, I couldn't move, and I stared and I stared. On my desk, there's my wedding picture of Sherman and I. So I sat there for a minute and I was like, "Sherman, you didn't leave me. Please." I took the picture And I cried quietly. I didn't want no one to hear me. And I was like, but I just kissed them goodbye this morning. I just kissed them goodbye. It was such a beautiful morning. And now Sherman was dead. So this red bag is what they give you, the final belongings from the medical examiner's office. As I said, my husband worked in construction. And on that morning, I was watching him go up. He had on his tattered work clothes. These are his overalls. They came back ripped. His knee was crushed. His ribs were crushed. Had a punctured heart and many other injuries he sustained. Blunt force trauma. I'm not a mother anymore because I had lost my child previously. Now I'm not a wife. I was hurt. I didn't want to be a widow. I didn't want to be alone. I didn't want to be motherless. But this is the fate that I had been dealt. So this is what I was going to have to deal with. It finally came that they got him. Medee Grant had started out on a night of drinking, and apparently he was speeding 85 miles an hour from the left lane to the right lane, crashed into Sherman, pushed him off the highway into the tree, killing him instantly. Then he proceeded to go to the next exit and drive through residential areas speeding with a Good Samaritan following him.
Were you worried that there would be insufficient evidence to convict him for intoxicated driving?
I was extremely worried because so much time had passed. In my mind, it was like, well, how are they going to prove this? Later on that day, he conspired to set the car on fire to hide the evidence. The car was set ablaze in front of the home of where he was staying with his children's mother and their kids. He had been bragging to people that I think I killed somebody, that, oh yeah, we were drinking, we were lit, and all of this stuff. And all that came back to bite him in the butt. He pleaded not guilty. He said it wasn't him. He said that they couldn't prove anything. He says they could never prove that he was drinking. They would never prove that he was drunk. They could never prove that he set that car on fire. But his own buddies flipped on him. At the sentencing, I looked him in his eye and I told him, I don't forgive you. I never will forgive you. I hope you rot in hell. The Change.org petition was developed. The name of the project was Project Sherman. And we were advocating for tougher laws for DWIs, hit and runs, and we wanted stricter penalties. And we were shocked about how much support we were getting. And you hear about this all the time, but until it happens in your backyard, that's when it prompts you something has to change. We need our politicians to wake up and to do something. And it has to change before it happens to one of their family members.
It's a moment I look forward to. Spend my life with a beautiful lady, and I really love her.
It was just such a beautiful, beautiful relationship, and I so looked forward to growing old with him. There'll never be another Sherman, and I thank you, Sherman. I thank you for everything that you've done, that you continue to do, and for looking after me. He was a hero that day, that he went down there to volunteer in the rescue efforts, and he will forever be my hero. And Sherman will forever be my hero too. I think of the both of them often, and I know that they're together in heaven, and I know that I have two angels there. They're gone now, but I always say, for those we love are never lost. And the two of them will forever live in my heart for the rest of my life. And I look forward to the day when it's time to meet them again.
At this time, I would like to introduce our first student speaker, Sherman Richardson.
Fellow graduates of the Empire State College class of 2018, congratulations. Yes, we made it. We made it to the finish line. I had just started college when Sherman died, and I was going to drop out. And then I had the best mentor who says, you should try and just keep going. I speak for all graduates when I say we would not be here today if not for the love and support of our families, friends, employers, Empire State College faculty, and staff. Life will throw us all curveballs and perhaps knock us down for a while, but it's the attitude we take on that will determine our future. I earned a Bachelor's of Science degree in Business Management and Economics, and I finished with a 3.93 GPA. For me, it's important to keep living, to keep loving, to keep learning, to keep standing up for what's right, to keep helping others, and most important, to keep working towards living my best life.
Hey, this is my grandmother. Small mom.
Tomorrow is not promised, and despite what I have been through, I'm wiser, smarter, and more compassionate towards others. I'm grateful to God for the time I had with my husband and son, and for the woman I am today.